So about a week ago or so, we got the first big balance patch for Smash Ultimate, and originally I didn't really think too much of it, to be honest, but we actually ended up getting patch notes for once. That's right, no, it took a whole game of not telling us anything and a meme-worthingly vague first patch war actually almost at modern fighting game standards. That's fucking crazy. Though that training mode, it needs a bit of work. It's been, what, how many years? It's still trash? Come on, man. Within these patch notes though, there were definitely some interesting changes that are definitely indeed game changers. Wait, that's kind of the point of a patch, isn't it? There were big deals, okay? So I thought, hey, let me go over the biggest W's and L's from this patch for those of y'all who want the, the Cliff Notes version of the patch notes. Shouts to all my lazy folks who used Cliff Notes back in the day for like book reports and shit. They came in clutch, to be honest. Anyway, I got y'all. A couple of quick notes before we get started, talking about a couple general changes. A lot of moves got lower ledge lockout times. It basically means like if you use it by the ledge, then you can like grab the ledge quicker after using it. So that's cool. Always a good thing. Definitely characters that benefited from like, especially like Bayonetta and Ridley from my ear. So that's nice. There's also a bunch of auto cancel windows that are universally adjusted across many moves. And an interesting one, that mash up B out of shield option select, they used to like angle the shield and then mash B. That's gone now. Unfortunate, but I'm not losing sleep over it. But what I am losing sleep over though is the treatment Mega Man got in this patch, man. Basically, macro cancels were removed entirely. Now if you didn't know, when you're shooting pellets in the ground, Mega Man, you can cancel the third one, or like second one I believe, into a jump and then special move, which lets you do things like combo into leaf shield or convert to metal blade for additional range pressure. Well, that's entirely gone, which is kind of sad because I mean, it was one of the most interesting pieces of tech for that character. It was really fun to lab that stuff out for me. Though, to be honest, he doesn't really need it per se, but like, it was still a really fun thing, man. It just has me a bit conflicted on it. Though, to be honest, most Mega Mans don't really seem to care though, because he's still pretty much unscathed in terms of things like Leaf Shield and Metal Blade themselves, which are really good tools. But his close range game did get a bit worse though, so I have to call this an L. And a very, very sad one. But one that was actually undebatably a big deal, I believe, is Lucario's Aura Sphere hitbox nerf. I never thought you could ruin a character within one sentence, but lo and behold, they actually managed to do it. Now, though I don't think Lucario is necessarily a bad character since Aura Sphere got hit, but still, it's a pretty big deal considering that was one of his main ways of getting kill confirms, and a good way of approaching and mixing up options. And just like that hitbox nerf is pretty severe too. Just look at this, bro. I'm touching Link here, but it's just not going through. It's just crazy. To be fair, I may be over exaggerating just a little bit because Lucario is one of my lesser played characters, but from what I've seen, it's a very important part of his kit. That was definitely took a big hit. I mean, he loses out on combos that he had before. He loses out on his offensive games. Pressure is just, it sucks. It really sucks. So Lucario held that fat L there. Now, a character that was supposed to hold a bit of an L, but actually got better, was Luigi. Now, as you see in the patch notes, his dare no longer spikes, which I believe they were like put that in to try to get rid of his 0 to death that he had before off a grab. But the funny thing is that, like, I swear, like less than an hour after the patch dropped, you already see man's coming up with new 0 to deaths, to be honest. So it kind of did nothing. On top of that, I also gave Luigi a couple of buffs to his up smash and down B to have more knockback, which I assume was to make up for them taking away his 0 to death. But what ended up happening now was just that he got straight up buff. In a funny twist of events, Luigi held one of the biggest W's this match. Honestly, I don't know how they can go about removing the 0 to death that Luigi has, but hopefully they do sometime soon. You can already get insane damage off of one throw, so I mean, he doesn't exactly need it. Also, it'd be cool if Downbeat could actually go somewhere in the air, but that's besides the point. Moving on to a few characters that got significantly buffed actually. First, we start off with Rosalina, and she actually got a big laundry list of changes, including things like up B, snapping ledge easier, down air spike coming out faster, down tilt going farther, neutral B being much faster, and a couple other things. All this makes her a much better character. She actually kind of feels functional now. Let's be fair, she did feel functional before, but not by really that much, if you get what I mean. Like, I can definitely see her like rising from like a low tier, because in my eyes she was definitely a low tier. I can definitely see her rising to like a mid tier, maybe even like a higher in the mid tier, you know? But I'm not sure about much higher than that. Then again, I've been seeing a lot of Rosalina tech online lately, and maybe she's getting better. Maybe I'm just sleeping on her, I don't know. But needless to say though, Rosalina held a big ass W, which makes me very happy because I played the character a lot in Smash 4. She was definitely my main there, so I'm happy to see her getting some good treatment from how she was originally. Then we got my boy Incineroar, in my opinion one of the most fun characters in this whole game. he definitely got noticeably better, just from a couple of really key changes really. Most notably, there's his up B, which now goes much higher and much further, which was really his biggest problem and made him very inconsistent, because like his up B kind of went nowhere both vertically and horizontally, to be honest. But now it actually feels like it can go places occasionally. This means that recovery for him is just easier, as well as edge guarding, because edge guarding was really kind of a pipe dream a lot of time playing the character. You kind of just have to like stand on stage and maybe try to get some 2 frames. But now you can actually go off sometimes, which is really neat. So yeah, that was a much needed change. Also up throw, having our knockback is cool. It lets it kill a bit earlier, I believe, but nothing too significant. And yeah, really though, it was just the up B that made Incineroar a lot better, honestly. So Incineroar definitely held that fat W. Speaking of characters that got fat W's though, we got Me Brawler, one of the lesser talked about ones I've seen so far actually. He got a bunch of well-needed quality of life buffs that overall made him feel a lot less clunky and incomplete, because yeah, playing him before, that's what he kind of felt like, really, kind of just like an incomplete character. But a lot of these changes help to alleviate that a bit. I mean, Bear and Nair have less landing lag, Axe Kick snaps better, up smash is better, head on assault does more shield damage, and just more stuff than that. It's just like really good for the character. It definitely makes him feel a lot more fun, a lot more functional, he works better, it's just nice, it's great. So needless to say, it's definitely a big W for Me Brawler. I can even see him rising up the tier list a bit, honestly. I think a lot of people were kind of putting him low tier originally, and I can see that definitely changing within the days to come. Then there's Ice Climbers. Ice Climbers are kind of a tricky character to balance for me, because like if you make them too good, then they just kind of become degenerate like they were in Brawl and Melee. I think this patch was pretty good for him overall. It's kind of hard to show in video, but the AI got noticeably better for Nana. Not a crazy amount, but it's like she graduated from kindergarten to like 2nd grade, my guy. So I mean, that's improvement. She still does things like doing nothing in Tumble except drift, running the smash attacks and shit, but I mean, it's fine. Well, they did remove Nana storage, I think, which is like holding input when Nana's outside your range, but it was likely a bug because it was really inconsistent again to begin with, so it's not really too big of a hit. Also, up B snapping better, nice, very nice. So yeah, IC's got W. Then there's Jigglypuff. And not only did they buff the Puff from Smash 4, they also buffed him, her, it, whatever. They also buffed Jigglypuff again in this patch, my guy. Finally, they made back air great again. It starts up really quickly. I don't want to say it feels like Melee's back air, because that one's just ridiculous, but it definitely feels a lot better and closer to that. The decreased startup in that is just really helpful, super important, great change. So it changes to up smash, down tilt, F tilt as well. So it seems like it's trying to make her ground game a bit better, which is really nice because she really kind of sucks on the ground like she always has, really. So it's nice that they're making changes to kind of sort of, you know, alleviate that a bit while still keeping that weakness there and not buffing her ground tools to the point of absurdity. So Puff, yeah, definitely one of the better handled characters here and gets a W. The one character I do not think was really handled that well was DDD. Gordos are definitely a lot easier to hit back now because of its hitbox reduction, which I don't understand why, to be honest, because Gordos really aren't that good to begin with. They're already easy to hit back. But I mean, I guess it's not too big of a deal, but you know, DD held like a lowercase L, you know? It wasn't much too big, but you know, it was questionable. Very, very questionable. What wasn't questionable though was the changes that are made to Duck Hunt. They seem quite deliberate. Side B basically gained more end lag, which means that his clay pigeon combos that he had before you see on Twitter and stuff like that, they're for the most part gone. I think you gotta be like really close to hit them now. It's not really that many times you do it anymore, because I remember like seeing a couple videos where you can just like loop them until you get the def off the side and spike them off, but like now it's definitely not anything close to that, and it actually feels more like how the move should feel, I think. So that's like a really good change there. But to compensate for that, he also got less end lag on the can though, which is pretty good, because you know, can's one of the main tools used with this character. So I mean, honestly didn't really get a W or L this patch, but I guess if I had to pick one, it was an L, I guess. But it ain't too big. K-Roll kind of got clapped though. It's kind of funny because he's really not that great of a character, but you know, scrub killing characters, it's kind of Little Mac last game really. Vacuum was nerfed for I don't really know why. Up B, I believe Up B's hitbox were reduced, correct me if I'm wrong, which it really feels noticeable to be honest, but it's not the biggest deal. Then down throw, the berry time was adjusted to be, I believe, easier to escape at lower percents, harder to escape at higher percents, which is fine. But K-Roll of all characters getting nerfed though, I just find that really funny. And Inkling as well took a bit of an L, though mostly understandable one. The one change I don't really understand too much really is side B. Tip box is basically just shifted backwards, which pretty much means that it's easier to hit Inkling out of from the front, which I really thought was already pretty easy to hit her out of, or at least clank with it. But there's a lot of complaining about that move, so I understand why they did it. But I mean, it's one of those changes where it's just like, I guess. Then there was a berry change I talked about with K Rule also being applied to Kinkling. And there's a berry change for K Rule also being there with Inkling as well. So overall, I like how they handled that. But yeah, a bit of an L there. A bit of an L. There was some other changes that, in my opinion, were major, but I'll still go down the list real quick. Chrom and Ike got changed where their up B cheese that they had doing up B off the stage, it don't work as it usually did, at least with Chrom. Ike, it kind of does still, I think, but it's a bit weird. I might have to test it some more, to be honest, which is really appreciated because strats like that just really aren't that fun to deal with. Oh, there's still some more. I'm not going to say any names because I ain't no snitch. Though there were no other changes to Ike though, which is a bit concerning to me because don't worry, I don't think he should be nerfed to the ground, but I think he should be changed, man, because he feels like one of the more boring characters to play. That's just my opinion though. Now I'm rambling. But yeah, a bit of an L for those two. Samus, her down B has less end lag and has a bit more range on missiles. The missiles one was actually a hidden change, I believe, because it wasn't listed in the patch notes, but it seems to be true, which is cool. Down B helps with edge guarding, probably with other uses that I don't really know about because I'm not very good with Samus, honestly. And the missile above is obviously really good for zoning. So yeah, Samus, good stuff. Got a W. Kirby, better dash attack, as well as like a buff to forward tilt, I believe. But the dash attack one's the real one that matters to me though, because which basically just means that he's like better at catching landings, which is really nice. Boy Pac-Man had a good change. Fruit stays around longer after hitting someone, which just makes recycling fruit easier, I believe, which basically just means grabbing the fruit, you know, charging that junk, throwing it, you know, that kind of stuff. Reduce, reuse, recycle. And because recycling is good, we got a W for Pac-Man. Makes sense, right? Yeah. Bowser got better at doing Bowser things due to the damage buffs on a couple of his moves and increased knockback on his down smash. That was always a nice W for him. Mewtwo is a weird one. His dash attack has noticeably less shield stun, which is, I honestly don't really know why they did that. It didn't really feel like a big deal. Though up B is now more consistent, which is nice. Overall, it's a bit of a W, a bit of an L. That same thing about up B consistency is proof for Palutena. Really nice. And lastly, there's Sonic. A back air having less landing lag is amazing because, you know, it's one of his main kill moves. It's always nice to have less landing lag on those. And now if tilt actually is functional, so that's nice. That would have been better if they gave this change with up air because that can feel a bit inconsistent sometimes, but it's fine. I think Sonic's still a good character without that change, which seems to be an unpopular opinion weirdly enough, but I don't get it. Anyway, that's it for the notable changes in my opinion. Overall, this patch was actually surprisingly really good, I believe. There were a couple of questionable changes, a couple characters that weren't changed that probably should have been more, like Peach only got like a slight change to her up B when she has insane damage because the short hot damage multiplier doesn't apply when you flow cancel aerials. I thought that would be her move. That seems like a no-brainer, but I don't know, man. But nah, overall, most of the changes here were actually really good and kind of needed. Things like Mega Man, though I really don't like the change personally, it does make him a bit less degenerate, to be fair. They tried nerf Luigi is respectable. Rosalina got buffed, Incineroar, as well as Mii Brawler. Those are all characters that don't really have too big of a presence. But they also reduced things that were really good about Duck Hunt and Inkling as well, among other characters, which is really good overall. Though, again, Peach, why? Patch was great. Thankful to Nintendo for actually dropping patch notes for once, and I hope they continue doing in the future, because that'll be great and amazing. Also, can we fix the training mode? What did you think of the patch notes, though? You can tell me down below in the comments. I'm really interested to see the reception of the patch. It seems pretty positive from what I've seen, but I love seeing just all types of opinions about it. Also, there was this little tournament you might have heard of called Genesis, you know, it recently happened. There might be a video or two coming about that pretty soon. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Goodbye.